All right, this is the completion of day 2, and actually the end of your guys' Desert Brutality 2021 adventure.
All over.
All over. Yeah. It's over. Let's just walk away now. Yeah. So we started today with the shield. So that's a pistol assault with a shield, or actually rifle with a shield, ballistic shield, then a pistol. Why don't we start with the Bloke? How did that go for you?
With the rifle, my special power of garbage tier excellence paid off. Actually, it was the second time I'd actually used the scope. 2.75 power, actually, very good, underrated. And this is actually a very clear scope, clearer than the Brownell's Retro on my M16.
Well, it is an original one.
But it is an original one. And then the pistol ate me, particularly the weak hand. That trigger and the sights, both the front and the rear sight had been filed down and hit with hammers, and the light was coming straight at them and I could hardly see the sights, and then the trigger pull. So I struggled. I got them all in within the time, but I took an awfully long time doing it, unfortunately.
Ian?
A lot of people took forever trying to get those weekend shots.
Yep.
Oh, I straight up did, just on that regard. Like when I shot in the staff match, but I did great on the rifle. When I come up with the shield, and you're holding the shield with your support side. And then when I went to the support hand only on my pistol, it was just this. And it was just fire for effect for me. But Ian, you did a lot better than that.
So I went into it knowing I've got 6 rounds in this limited, overly powerful gun, which it wasn't even just the limited capacity, it was a lot of recoil coming out of that thing. That's full power 357. So I deliberately did not sprint all out with the shield. I wanted to keep at least some of my breath to the end of the stage. The rifle went really well, you know, resting. It wasn't that long of a shot, it wasn't that hard of a shot. And then supported pistol was good. The weekend pistol took me 4 shots for 2 hits. And actually, my 2 misses were both unintentional premature firing, because I haven't really shot that thing weekend only, like, ever. And it's got, in single action, a very nice, very light, crisp trigger. And I had the kind of thing where I was coming down onto the target and accidentally touched it off. You know, slowly apply pressure. Oh, wait, oops. Didn't need that much pressure. Very happy with how I was able to pull that one off, though.
Should definitely speak to your doctor if you have a premature firing problem.
Yes, actually, definitely. They have pills for that.
Yeah. Jari, how'd it go for you?
I think the whole day was just spiraling down and crash and burn. But I still had good times. The first stage with the shield, I think it went fairly well, but yeah, things happened. I didn't get the magazine out from the rifle. The magazine was stirred. So remember to clean your stuff before the match day. And that kind of broke my flow, and I was just kind of too hasty and got the penalty. And yeah.
Jenny?
My tactic was to go slow and steady, and it worked. The shield was really heavy. And I thought that if I'll carry it this way, then I have to, like, I don't do this even at the gym, so I'm not gonna do that. So I carried it like a shopping bag on my left hand. And then, yeah, it was fun, but challenging.
It's type 2 fun. Everyone will think this was more fun in a week than you're thinking right now.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
It's worth pointing out, and you said this, the focus of this match was accuracy.
Yes.
The shooting challenges were harder this year than they generally have been before.
Than they ever have been before.
And this stage was an example of it, with weak hand only, small targets, offhand, after a bunch of exertion.
That's true.
And the next stage was even more of an example of
the Highland Games.
Bullshit.
And the Highland Games, because you were lobbing a big, stupid, heavy weight over a sawhorse, going back and forth between pistol and rifle. So why don't we start with you?
So yeah, the kettlebell was it 50 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. I had to first get it off the ground and then on my lap, and then heave it over the fence, and but the shooting was fun.
Yeah, one of the things, like you said, about the accuracy issue was, or the emphasis on marksmanship, was that all the rifle shots had to be offhand.
Yeah.
So there was no way to support or brace. And after you're doing that heavy weight, you have to really stabilize and breath control to get that hit.
And I've been doing that a lot for IPSC and SRA. And just what bums me is the last shot that I didn't get. I heard someone saying like, one shot left or something, and then it got into my head, and I started rushing. I think I shot like maybe 5 to 10 shots and didn't get a hit.
Hurry up and finish.
And then beep. But it was fun.
It's worth pointing out that was an A zone target at about 160 yards,
150 or so. Yeah.
It's the same stuff that I train with. So
going to the right.
I should have gotten that shot.
And the pistol was a C zone target at 50, which is also challenging. Jari, your thoughts?
Yeah, wasn't happy with my own performance. Again, I had the issue with the magazine, and it was probably too dirty. So that kind of tricked me, and it was hard to recover from that. The stage would have been like awesome, but I lost so much time that I didn't even break the sweat with the kettlebell because I didn't have that many repetitions. So that's a bummer. I would try. I would like to kind of try myself until exhaustion, but it is what it is.
We'll have you throw the kettlebell down the wash on the way home, just for fun. Ian?
That stage can eat a giant bag of adult novelty toys. That was a complete disaster for me. So it took me 6 rounds to get the first pistol hit.
Yep.
The MR73 I have is a gendarmerie model with fixed sights. So turns out I had to aim 6 to 12 inches below the bottom of the steel, which I didn't expect. But after 6 rounds, I figured that out, got the hit, went to rifle, and it must have been basically luck that I got that rifle hit. Second pistol took 3 rounds, and that was the last hit that I made in the match. I dumped an entire magazine plus some on the rifle target. I just couldn't get a clear sight picture on it, and after a couple of rounds, my hands were shaking. I couldn't keep the rifle steady. I was trying to hold my breath to stabilize, and that works for about 3 rounds. And then, the more you hold your breath, the less oxygen you have, and it gets worse, and you tense down, and it gets worse, and it was a complete mess.
Bloke?
The pistol side of that, again, the sights and the trigger kind of ate my lunch a bit, and I had exactly the same breath control issue as you, where you just like, you've been throwing a kettlebell back and forth, and you're holding your breath out, so your lungs aren't full, and trying to make hits, and the RO wasn't calling where they were going, and I couldn't see, and I just kept wanging rounds at it.
The pistol one was really hard to get reads on misses.
Yep,
the rifle was really easy to get reads. The pistol was very difficult.
There was a creosote bush or bush right in front of it. It really can disguise the impact zone.
The rifle went actually quite well for garbage tier stuff. The target, even at 2.75 power, still looked pretty damn small.
Yeah.
It was not. It was. What magnification were you on?
For me, when I shot it?
Jenny?
Oh.
I don't remember, like 5 or something.
Okay. So you could actually see the thing more than just a little...
Yeah, I saw that.
I was going to say, when I shot, I don't have a choice. It's 1.5x ACOG. But
that's why I don't shoot with historical garbage.
Oh, ouch.
Ooh.
Oh, burn.
That side of the camp just got... They're going home with some chafing right now. So after that, we went over here. You can actually kind of see it behind us, running up the hills for the pistol assault. One of the things I was looking at this in this desert environment when I was watching the stages earlier, there was a guy running up in full kit with nods on and stuff, and I looked at them like, this looks like a photo out of Afghanistan. Like this environment here looks, well, it is legit. It's kind of really the same thing. So let's go ahead and start with you on this one, Bloke.
I actually had one of the fastest pure times on it, but on the last pistol target, the big one, having gone 1 for 1 on the tiny stuff, I screwed it up. So I got a 60-second penalty, and then the rifle went pretty well and double taps pretty quick. This actually shoots really flat. I'm amazed. This is actually the first time I've ever shot one of these, and I'm amazed at how well it shoots.
Those high value targets can really get in your head.
Oh yeah,
Ian?
That's what it got me.
I was really hoping I could go 1 for 1 on the Revolver, because there were 6 targets, 6 rounds. It didn't quite work out. I made a couple misses on the small poppers. Reloaded once. That was all it took. Made the precision target, and was very happy with the results with the FAMAS. I avoided the tank trap, used a bipod on the ground, good and stable, made all the hits. It wasn't the fastest run, but it was a clean run, and I'm happy with it.
Good. Jari?
I think that was the most fun today.
Today? Okay. Yeah.
Running up the hill.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I did decent with the pistol. I took the penalty, but rifle was like smooth sailing. I just went traditionally prone and blocked the rifle really well on ground, and then just went through the targets. It was easy sailing.
Good. Jennu?
For me, the pistol wasn't that good. I think I didn't do a good job on the trigger of the clock. And with the rifle, I think I was in France or drunk or something during the briefing, because I thought we had to, switch targets after every hit.
Yeah.
And that's what I did until the arrow told me to double tap, and then I started. But yeah, it was fun, but I'm not happy with the performance.
Then we get to what is the most brutal of all the brutal stages here. Not physically, but in terms of mental and distress. Not only when you're shooting, but watching it. We get to the spinner, like suicide drill, essentially. DMR spinner at like 150 yards. Then if you get it, move down to the carbine at 50 yards, spin another spinner, then move up to 15 yards and spin it with your pistol.
Can I make a correction?
Yeah.
It's this stage they can eat the giant bag.
Oh! This is the one?
Yes, it's that one. It's the spinner one. Yeah.
So we'll just go in the other direction. Jennu, how did you feel about this one? You shot Partizan, so you shot this gun only.
Yeah. I had trouble with the scope. Yeah, I think the battery is loose or something. And I had the zoom on quite big. It was an 8 or 10 or something. And the reticle has a red circle and then a red dot in the middle, and the circle covered the whole plate. And it was blinking, like it wasn't even in any rhythm, just like...
Battery was making contact and not, so you're getting a red light.
Yeah.
You can still see the reticle with it off though, right? Because it's black.
Yeah, well, I didn't have the brain capacity at the time to turn it off, because it's a scope that I don't use.
Yeah, you're borrowing.
I didn't remember how to turn it off.
So that blinking was really getting to you?
Yeah. And then I shot two 30-round mags of 77 grain ammo on that spinner and almost got it over twice. And then I ran out of ammo, and Jari was there like,
here, have more. Resupply.
Yeah, but that was it 50 or 55 grain, so it didn't have any impact on the faraway spinner. The arrow asked me if I wanted to go and stop shooting that spinner and skip the 2 rifle spinners and just run to the pistol, but I thought that this faraway spinner is the reason why I want to shoot this stage so bad. So, yeah.
No one wants to shoot the pistol spinner in any situation.
So Jari, you're using the XCr-m in 308.
Yeah, that was a bliss. It was like 3 or 4.
It was something, you went over quick.
Yeah, so I just went to the bottom blade, kind of, the blade was constantly on the reticle, so that was really pleasant and easy.
The gun doesn't move much.
No, it was like smooth sailing. Then the problem, I wouldn't say problems, but I went to the barricade where you should spin it with the carbine, and yeah, I shot like 90 rounds, 3 magazines. I missed, I don't know, less than 10, and it was almost spinning, but this didn't have enough punch for it.
You were close, real close. Another thing that's interesting about the Hollow Sun, this is kind of a plus for the Hollow Sun, even though you struggled. The battery went out on you, but the solar panel still allowed you to shoot. Yeah. So you actually still had a sight even without a battery.
Yeah, and it's a bit dim, but that wasn't the problem.
No, but the fact that you can still see a reticle at all is why that solar panel's there.
Yeah, so I made plenty of hits, but yeah.
I mean, that's a 10-inch barrel, and you're losing several hundred feet per second of velocity of what's only 55 grain ammo to begin with. Yeah.
Yep. Ian?
Well, my best case goal was spin all 3 of them. And I thought my window of opportunity for the pistol spinner was going to be if I could get it moving, if I could get it over with the carbine, with the FAMAS, and then get to it while it was still going. and maybe get 2 or 3 hits with the 357 and spin it over. And that didn't come to pass. Still pretty happy. Most importantly, I kept the streak with the FRF2 going. 3 hits, 3 shots, 3 hits. So through the entirety of Desert Brutality 2021, I never fired a round out of that rifle that was not a hit. And that's really cool.
It is.
Opted to use, there was just barely enough of a shooting lane down for the carbine spinner to go prone with the bipod on this thing, which I opted to do because I figured that was going to be more stable than the barricade. It was. The downside is I was right down in the dirt, and about half of my shots at the bottom plate of the spinner, because the only way to do that was top and bottom, and about half my shots on the bottom were estimates. I couldn't see the plate through the dust, but I pretty much knew where it was, and because the gun was on a bipod, it wasn't moving between shots. So if I'd been on the barricade, I feel like the gun would have been, the barricade moved, and I couldn't have made those basically hits on an unseen target. I came really close once, failed, ran out of ammo, reloaded, and started over again and actually got it.
Yeah, you did get it though.
The 357 did not have that much impact on the pistol spinner. It was not much more than 9.
They were all heavily set spinners.
They are.
Yeah, this was
lots of friction.
It was a hard spinner.
Yep.
And Bloke, you started off with my NDM86.
Yep. The zero had shifted a little bit from where it had been before, which is always exciting on the clock. But a bit of coaching meant that if I aimed sort of at 4 o'clock, almost at the edge of the plate, I could hit it pretty consistently and got it over.
You spun it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then unloaded, went down to the barricade and started off really well with some doubles and top and bottom. And then at some point I didn't know whether I was hitting it anymore. I was just sort of doing my best with it, really. Using the scope, wasn't even thinking about it. But I got it almost up, and then something went wrong. And then I ran the 30 round mag dry.
Here's what went wrong.
I ran the 30 round mag dry. Thank you. This 30 round mag, which has run perfectly the whole day, and I inserted a reserve thermold mag, which didn't run at all, wouldn't even take the first round. So I yeeted that and put the other one in. Same deal. It seems that a little bit of, just a tiny bit of dust stops these thermals from working.
Those thermals are complete garbage to begin with.
All thermals are complete garbage.
So, I don't know about that. I have an old thermal AR mag that I've had for a long time, and it looks kind of janky, but it seems okay and it works fine. And so when I realized when you were coming that I only had a 20 and a 30 for this thing, and I wanted to have you some sort of backup, I ordered a couple of thermolds because they were the only AR-18 magazine I could find retail and available.
And I couldn't bring my hybrid mag.
Right, import restrictions. And when I opened those thermolds, when they arrived in the mail, I'm like, oh, good Lord. Like, there's plastic flashing hanging off the feet lips. They were awful, but that was all that we had the opportunity to get before the match.
And there's just a tiny little opening in the bottom of these that got a little tiny bit of dust in, and that meant that just with jiggling in the gear, the top round ended up nose down.
Yeah.
And just from the jiggling from running around. So I then discovered, because the 20 round mag we had yesterday, I found out didn't run. So I've run an entire Brutality match with only one working magazine.
And did quite well with it, too.
Which is kind of epic.
Yeah.
Hombre of the one mag.
Yeah. So then, I just had to stop because I had no bayonet, so I just ran forward to the pistol, and it was a bit of a lost cause, so I used a bit of elan and completely failed.
We've had different experiences with that. For me, thermolds are targets, quite honestly. I've never had good luck with them. But that's all 4 for today. We don't know the full results yet. We're going to see that in a little bit. But I would say, I think, in my opinion, this is one of the better Desert Brutality events we've had. Actually, this environment, this range, these stages, absolutely, I don't know, I'd like to hear what you think. I think they encompass brutality.
Yeah, definitely. This is brutal, not necessarily physically, but like mentally and marksmanship, like.
And also gear maintenance.
Yeah.
The dust out here is absolutely an element of the match that you cannot underestimate. That's what killed your mags. My FRF2 is now going like when I cycle it. Thank goodness there isn't another stage or like
and this ran like with the good mag. This ran like a champ despite all the moon dust.
Yeah.
Which is super. You should dust test this one.
So in that note, I want to thank everyone for being here. This has been an incredible event. It's like, even though it's hard, it's difficult, and we're out here kind of like, you go, it's over. It's type 2 fun. Tomorrow, you're going to be like, that was rad. I want to do more of that. So I also want to thank the audience for watching this and seeing the camaraderie and friendship that's here, because Desert Brutality really brings people together. We got people from all around the world here, and it's amazing. And so thanks for watching this. Stay tuned, and hopefully you'll join us at Desert Brutality 2022.